I was reflecting this morning as I woke up and got out of bed and did the normal routine, went downstairs, had breakfast, about home and how, we take home for granted. I have a safe, loving home. I'm very lucky to have one here in North London. And yet so many of the people that we work with at the Refugee Council and that many of you work with through the incredible work that you all do in your communities, they don't have that feeling of home in the way that I do. And of course, the meaning of home and that sense of safety, security, belonging is so important to one's being and how one can face the world and cope with the world and feel able to navigate the world. And that made me think about how so many people who are forced to leave their homes because of war, persecution, violence, terror, climate change, environmental degradation, how so many of those people that are then forced to move across borders actually stay in neighboring countries. And it's easy to forget that in all the misinformation, the political point scoring, the political rhetoric that we hear about refugees. But 7 out of 10 will stay in neighboring countries. In Afghanistan, people are in Pakistan. In Syria, people are in neighboring Lebanon and other countries. And of course, they stay there. And we know this from what we saw in Ukraine so graphically in Europe. People stayed in Poland. We know they do that because they want to get home. Home matters so much. They want to be able to return to their home, to their communities, to their neighborhoods as soon as they can. And this idea that is perpetuated, this myth that is perpetuated and peddled by those that are against our cause in the UK, that there are multi-millions of people that want to come into our country is just so untrue based on the fact that we know those people who are uprooted through no fault of their own, the vast majority want to get back home as soon as possible. And I think that tells the story of the importance of home, and the theme for Refugee Week, I think, is so powerful. And finally, I just want to reflect on the importance of us, of this community, this power of individuals, of this community-powered Refugee Week activity, and what we can all achieve in what I think is a critical moment in the UK, because we have an election coming up later this year, whether we like it or not. And that will be an opportunity for change. There will be lots of political dialogue in communities across the country, sparked by the fact that there is an election, and in the run-up to the election and when there is a campaign that is launched and takes place. And of course, that is an incredible opportunity for all of us to use our voices, both individually, within our own organizations, within our own communities, and collectively to have many thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of conversations about the importance of the refugee cause, about the plight of refugees, and to use the power of those conversations to affect change at this critical moment. Because I think this is a critical moment when change could come, and it's the power of those conversations, the power of this community, this Refugee Week community, that can really contribute to that. So I would urge you to use the power of your voices, your individual capabilities to have those conversations in your communities through the incredible work, the community-powered work that is being done around Refugee Week, to really seize this opportunity to try and multiply those conversations through a ripple effect to bring about the change that we want to see in our communities, so that refugees are welcomed, so that refugees are treated with dignity and with humanity, and so that we move to a different approach an approach where refugees are genuinely welcome and showed love and value in our communities. We have the power to affect that change. And I think you are the change makers that can bring that about.